Today I'd like to talk about how to make rice soup. There's another name for rice soup. We call it congee. Why we have to talk about rice soup? Because it is nutritious and it is also delightfully tasty. A rice soup is as easy to cook as rice. All you need is to add more water than required to make a soup. And the thickness of the soup depends on how much water you added, and you can make the soup more soft by simmering it for a longer time. So it all depends on the time of simmering. What's a rice soup used for? It is used for weight control if you want to, because it's a light dish, but it is also nutritious and it can be filling. In China, it's used to nurse the stomach back to health if you suffer from some stomach problem. And it is also used to nourish and soothe the body in case of hot weather. And if you lack appetite, rice soup is a good thing to do. Or if you're suffering from a fever or a flu, it's better to take rice soup than rice or something too heavy. First, we have to talk about how to make the plain rice soup. You make the plain soup first, and then you add something else. You can make plain rice soup by using the leftover cooked rice. All you need is to add water, boil the cooked rice, and then simmer for some time, maybe 1 or 2 hours. And remember to stir occasionally, because if you don't stir, the rice will stick to the bottom of the pot. And you can simmer for a longer time if you want to make the rice more soft. And you can add water to adjust to the thickness of the soup. You can also make plain rice soup from uncooked rice, from the rice grains. All you need is to add water as you do cooking the rice, but you have to add more water than required for rice cooking. And you can even use a rice cooker, but remember, if you use a rice cooker, you have to unplug when the soup is done, because if you don't unplug, the rice cooker still continue to heat it up, and it won't stop until the water has evaporated. For your convenience, it is better to make enough rice soup for use for several days. And then after you make the soup, you put it in the refrigerator for later use. Since the rice soup tastes neutral, you have to add meat to cook in the soup. Then it becomes very tasty. There are all kinds of meat that you can add, but you add the raw meat when the soup is done, but keep it simmering hot, otherwise it cannot cook the meat. Many different kinds of meat you can add. First one, very popular, is the fish fillet, sliced into thin pieces. And you put the fish in there, it is cooked very soon, maybe in a couple of minutes. You can use beef too, pork, chicken. Chicken will take longer time to cook. Duck, you sliced or minced and put them into the simmering hot soup to cook. Another very popular Chinese dish, pork liver or kidney, sliced too. But these are the popular ones. You can use whatever meat you want. You can use the leftover cooked meat from the refrigerator, things that you cannot finish yesterday. Another thing that goes very well with the soup is the pickles to enhance the flavor. And there are all kinds of pickles from different cultures. Chinese pickles taste very good, Japanese too, Korean pickles, or even Western pickles. You can use them to eat with the soup. You don't have to cook them, you just eat them on the side to enhance the flavor. And all of these pickles, you can buy them in the supermarket in cans or jars. Besides the pickles, in China, people like to use preserved tofu sold in jars in the supermarket. Also tastes very good. And there are all kinds of preserved vegetables. Some of them are cucumbers, turnips, beans, and many others. You go to the supermarket and you can find them. There is a big variety. Besides the pickles and vegetables, there are other things you can add too. Scrambled egg, Chinese preserved egg, we call 1,000-year-old egg, to cook in the soup. You can use lettuce or other vegetables, but remember to chop them up into thin, small pieces. And they taste better if you chop them up. And all you need is to add to the soup. There's no need to cook them. Western one, corned beef or salami, you can use it on the side to eat with the rice soup. Tastes good. And besides that, I would say that anything will go well. It all depends on your taste. So I like to advise you to use your imagination and creativity to make the rice soup that you really want.